Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise a glass for our 2019 BMI Icon, Marty Bandier. For your unique and indelible influence on generations of music makers. Congratulations.
I feel like this bucket is something you give to someone who wins a horse race. Excuse me 1 second. Anyway, I think everything's been said, that video and all the wonderful words that have been said, but I wrote a speech, so I'm going to say it anyway. So it's great to be here tonight with a lot of people I love and admire, both personally and professionally. And first, thank you to the team at BMI, especially Mike O'Neill and Barbara Kane. Before I talk about BMI, I want to mention that my wife and my children are all here, and the surprise was that my grandson flew in from New Haven, where he's graduating at the top of his class at Yale. This coming weekend, and so I couldn't be more thrilled about that. But BMI and I have a very long history together. When I started in the business, they gave me an advance that today would be considered enough to maybe buy several boxes of good Cuban cigars. But it was a lot of money at that time, and while I had no songs, I had no copyrights, what I did have was a partner in BMI who believed in my partner and I, and me. My wife, who was an English professor, would say that that's right. Though I probably was able to use a little bit of the money to sign some writers, truthfully, a good deal of it went to help payroll, and I needed that. So always thank you for that. It'll never be forgotten. Sometimes I find it hard to believe that I've been in the business so long. I still feel as motivated as ever, and I'm still taken with what I deem to be the most important part of the music business, the songs and the songwriters. Yeah. You can't have a hit without a melody and lyrics. Now, keeping up with this ever-changing, complex business driven by the digital age has been nothing short of invigorating and sometimes aggravating. I've made it my goal to stay as well informed about every new development that technology has ushered in, understanding their implications and opportunities really to best serve the rights of songwriters and publishers. And I have a mounting optimism about the new world. While there's still plenty of battlegrounds that remain for songwriters, I think we approach these issues with the buoyancy of knowing that the music business is thriving at a rapid pace again, and we're finally back in a growth business. Yeah, about time. Took us a couple of decades. Having been through so many chapters of the business, I relish the fact that I can bring a perspective of someone who's truly seen the business evolve from vinyl. No, I wasn't there when 78s were the platform. All the way to the mind-blowing evolution and explosion of streaming. Mike did a really good job of detailing my career accomplishments, of which I'm really proud. I've signed or acquired with the help of some of the most incredible creative executives, many of them who are in this audience tonight, the legendary catalogs of Motown, CBS songs, one of my favorite people in the world, Carole King, Lieber and Stoller, Elvis, the Beatles, Sting, Queen, and thank you, Guy Moot, for that. Lady Gaga, where would we be, Jody, without you signing that? And Taylor Swift, thank you, Troy. And there are so many others I could mention and go on for a long time. But even in recognizing these accomplishments and working with the most talented songwriters in the world, the most gratifying part of my journey so far is not what I accomplished, but with whom I've taken the journey with. It is the people I worked closely with, and now the young students from the Bandier program who I've helped start their journeys of their own. In all of those who worked with and fought for songwriters right alongside me, and all of those who will continue to fight for decades to come, all said the greatest source of pride, bordering on parental boasting, are those whom I like to think I may have influenced or will influence in their own noteworthy careers. My successes are nice, but it's been trying to foster the success of others that I have found the most joy and satisfaction. Last month, I had the great pleasure of visiting the students at the Bandier program, which I established in 2006. And that is now part of the prestigious Newhouse School at Syracuse University, where I'm a trustee and where I was a poor student when I went. There was no music program at that time. As I spoke to all these bright-eyed, eager young men and women, I was so excited for what the future holds for them. You see, my goal was never just to fund a theoretical education program. It was to help open real doors for those students and find real opportunities, ushering in the next generation of music industry advocates. And those graduates from the Bandier program are all over this wonderful business. There's hardly a day that goes by I don't run into them at some major company. But what's even more eye-opening for me tonight is that as I look around the room to the leaders of the three biggest music publishing companies in the world, I see three trailblazers in their own right with whom I've had the honor of hiring, working with, and mentoring for so many years at SBK, EMI, or Sony ATV. At Universal, we have Jody Gerson, who has become the leading, I think she's become the leading music publishing executive in the business, and smart enough to recognize that she will now have some serious competition from two outstanding executives. My former Sony ATV colleague and a friend of more than 20 years, and now the head of Warner Chappell, Guy Moot. A truly incredible and knowledgeable music publishing executive, and the talented and well-respected John Platt. Now putting the world's biggest music publishing company, Sony ATV, in very capable hands. And of course, he's being helped by some great people like Danny Strick and Brian Monaco and Peter Brodsky, among others. Through them, I see the road we walked together had tremendous significance and impact on not just my career, but also theirs, and in turn, the music publishing business as a whole. It's their success that gives meaning to my own. Just as BMI backed me and believed in me at the start of my career, I hope that I have offered the same support and mentorship to those with whom I've worked with along the way. And if by leading and teaching others how to carve their own paths, I have become worthy of this BMI Icon Award, and I accept it with humble gratitude. Thanks again to BMI for this award and for all the hard work they do for our community.